This is Section 4 of the Get Ready Marin course. In this segment, we learn about what to do during major disasters, such as earthquakes, fires, storms, floods, landslides, and power outages. Tiburon Firefighter Dean Bonfigli is our presenter.
Earthquakes. During the earthquake, if you're inside, duck and cover and hold. Duck, cover, and hold. Hang on. And stay there. Unless the building is in danger of collapsing, a building is usually a pretty good place to be in. Okay? If you're inside of a building, it's not falling down upon your head, stay there. Everybody thinks, hey, run outside. No, a lot more bad things can happen to you there. Seek shelter. If your home is unsafe, try a neighbor's. Okay? Next to a strong, heavy object. You probably don't want to go under a car that could roll away. Those are things that you want to be smart when you're making these decisions. And avoid tall bookcases and windows to stand next to, things that can fall. But remember, we've all bolted those in our homes up, right? So we've taken care of that, so we can just stand right next to that bookcase and no problem, because we know it's going to be secured in our homes. If you're outside, move to an open area away from buildings, power lines, and trees, the things that can fall and hurt you. Try to duck and cover and hold. If a large, heavy object is available, get under it. Don't get under a bus. They're thinking probably more in terms of like a picnic table, okay? Something along those lines. If you are in a crowded or public place, try to stay calm. People are going to get very, very upset usually in times of distress like this. So try to stay calm and take cover under something sturdy. I've always had the question, hey, what if you're in Costco? Man, you're dealt a bad hand at that point. You're in Costco, you're looking for that 52-ounce jar of pickles. And you got the pallet of dog food sitting right above you and the big one hits. Well, you got to do your best. I always say, hey, run for the middle, because that's where all the clothing sits, right? You're going to dive into a thing of t-shirts or something. Hopefully that'll do your best. But let's hope for the most part that you're not in Costco when the big one comes, because that would just not be a fun situation. And just remember, try to have two ways out. Two ways out. You walk into a restaurant, you walk into a building, you walk into a store. Try to find out where those exits are. I know it's tough it's easy for me to say that to you now, but it's not always something that we tend to do. So keep that in mind. If you're in your car, pull over to the side of the road, put your flashers on. Make sure when you pull over to the side of the road, it's not under a telephone pole. Make sure it's not on a bridge. You want to make sure you get off things that could collapse, get away from things that could fall on you and or your car. Protect your face and head against possible breaking glass. And stay away from overpasses. Okay? Everybody has seen the incredible footage of the bridge collapse when cars are driving and the bridge is falling down and cars are going zipping over the edge. Never a good thing. Immediately after the earthquake, go to your emergency supplies, okay? Because you got your trusty rusty yellow book. Everybody knows this is gonna be your calm in the storm. Make sure there's no damage to your utilities. We're going to want you to evaluate those, your gas, your electric, and your water. Make sure everybody's safe in terms of your family. Go for accountability. And at that point, now we want to check on any neighbors, check on any pets. If you can provide first aid to those folks, now's a good time to do so. Turn on a radio, listen to what KGO, 810, what people might be talking about on the radio in terms of this is where we need you to go, this is what we need you to do. Protect your water supply. We talked in the beginning about you can live for days, go on for days and days and days without food, but you need to have your water. So keep that in mind. If it means protecting your hot water heater, filling up that bathtub, knowing where your emergency water is, keep that prepared. And get ready for any sort of aftershock that might be coming. If your home is not safe, get out, seek shelter with a neighbor. Shelters will also be designated as needed. Fire. If someone knocks on your door and says there's fire coming up the hill and you need to get out of your house now, please do what they say. Everybody might remember the Oakland Hills fire back in '91. Every 28 seconds a house burst into flames when that fire was going at its height. So if someone says it's time to get out, it's really time to get out. Don't say, oh, I'll be fine, I'll just grab the garden hose and take care of that. No, get out and do what they tell you to do. Listen to the radio for emergency news. And try to keep your streets clear. One of the things we like to tell people is, if you live on an island or in an isolated place, figure out ways to get off by foot. There's many paths, footpaths, stairs that can take you off should your vehicle get stranded and you're not able to use your car to get from point A to point B. At the same time, the fire trucks and the police cars and the ambulances will need to access these roads as well, so don't just leave your car in the middle of the road, if possible. If there's a fire threatening your home and there's time, okay, there's a fire threatening your home and there's time, try to unlock your doors, close your windows, and move your valuables to the center of the room, okay, away from the windows, away from where the heat will be. Try to get dressed in some protective clothing. Long sleeve cottons are always great clothes that you can wear. I don't know how many people have Nomex clothing at home, but if you have Nomex clothing, by all means put it on. You want to protect your face if at all possible. There's a nice picture up here of what to wear. This gentleman's got gloves, he's got a flashlight, hiking boots. I don't know if everybody has access to all that at a moment's notice, but just keep that in mind. Know where your top 10 is, right? You grab your get ready book, find your top 10, get all your items to evacuate out of your house and your emergency kit, and leave. Storms. One of the things we have in this area is definitely a threat of massive amounts of water in a short period of time, causing floods, causing landslides, and causing power outages. There's some things that you can do. What we like to say is in the wintertime or when weather is bad, go outside and view your house. See where the water runs. Does the water run right under your foundation? Does the water run down the sides of your house? Is there a way to possibly divert that with sandbags, with plywood? Is there something that you might need to contact some sort of an engineer about because you need to make an adjustment around your home? Try to take care of these problems before they attack you. Have a sump pump with a generator, which is a small pump that you can put at a low point under your home. Should the water start to gather in there, the pump will kick on and it'll pump the water out. All right. If the water might engulf gas or electrical outlets, turn them off at the meters. Sandbags. There's different places, depending on where you live, that you can get sand and bags. They're not always perfectly made for you. I know you can go to certain hardware stores that they are made for you and you can buy them, but try to have them before you need them. Try to have them before, because when people are scrambling to try to get them, it makes it very difficult. Be prepared when water comes for landslides. A lot of people live on homes and hills. We've had a very, very dry winter, which means should there ever be any problems with fire, that could affect vegetation. If that affects vegetation, landslides could follow. Understand there's a potential there. Understand that you need to know where your escape routes are should there be any sorts of landslides that attack your home. Last thing on here talks about discussing with your neighbors mutual drainage problems. Once again, it's always good to talk to your neighbors and share this information with them. If maybe a fence is falling down, but maybe you see that there's an enormous drainage that runs right between your two properties. Maybe your neighbor has a good idea on how to divert that water instead of right into your backyard, or maybe you doing the same with them. So talk about it, get on the same page, which is a good thing. There's a possibility that the power will go out. Treat every down power line as though it is alive. In the fire service, we do that. Power lines are down, we don't go near them. PG&E comes out and says, hey, the power's off. Really? You touch it first. Okay, he touches it. Good. Now we can all touch it. Okay? But you don't want to be touching a power line that's got 10,000 volts of electricity running through it. Okay? It's not a fun thing. No one wants to have to experience that. If you have a generator, a large generator that's hooked onto your home that kicks on when the power goes off, not everybody has these. I don't mean a little portable generator that you can use with gas. I mean a big generator. And you need to contact PG&E, because if they have somebody working on the line and all of a sudden your generator fires up, it could affect the line, and that person who's up on that power line could get hurt. They need to know these things. If you have a fireplace, you should be sure it is safe to use before you put wood in there, and make sure you only use wood. Okay? They say don't use charcoal. I hope no one uses charcoal in their fireplace.
What's wrong with charcoal?
Well, you have carbon monoxide coming off charcoal. So, yes, it's good to cook your steak outside, but you don't want to be firing that up in your house.